Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a wonderful, beautiful, blessed weekend. I'm gonna actually be shooting for the very last time because of the holidays, guys, and I'll be exactly doing more episodes when the schools open, when the schools reopen again. But this week is for the last. This week that I'm exactly doing are the last episodes I'm exactly doing for you guys. But you'll see me again when the schools reopen. So trust me, guys, I'll be exactly doing more episodes, more greater episodes than ever before. But this time, I'm filming for the last week, meaning filming from this week, meaning the last week of the of for the for before the schools like before the exactly the schools closed. But you'll exactly see me again when the schools reopen again. But I'll exactly try to do one more episode during the school holidays, one episode during the school holidays. But this week I'm doing for the last week. I'm filming from the last week, meaning I'm filming for the last week, meaning this week, before the schools exactly closed. But anyway, I'm gonna exactly tell you about this episode about the Star Witch Queen and the Star Prince, who are exactly founding member of their own secret society of supervillains known as the Dark Star. They exactly come from the Star Universe, exactly that's been waging war with the Sacred Universe for many centuries ago. Okay, let's exactly start exactly. Many centuries ago, the Star Witch Queen and the Star King decided to expand their rule and decided to expand their rule and the empire of the Star Universe and the empire of the Star Universe throughout the Sacred Universe by conquering the Sacred Universe and also the Sacred World. They exactly frequently clash with the Four Nation Hunters and also with the original members of the Alliance, who exactly previously led by Laurel, who became the Lord of Magic, a powerful ancient villain, which I exactly told you about. The previous alliance waged war with the Star King and the Star Witch Queen, who attempted to conquer the sacred universe and the sacred world. Both sides exactly suffered enormous amounts of casualties as the Star Witch Queen uses her dark magic to destroy the Four Nation Hunters, and the Star King uses his army of battle cruisers to decimate the sacred forces and the Four Nation Hunters. The battle was quite conclusive as the Star King was heavily injured, during the battle, as he could not exactly survive. His injuries were very much quietly impaled. We were very much quietly impaled. With Foundation Hunter Dagger, as he was exactly suffering enormous amounts of injuries. But the Star Wars King was successfully able to teleport the Star King safely back to the central headquarters of the Star Universe, and was able to exactly severely heal him. But the Star Wars Queen's dark magic was ineffective to his injuries, as the Foundation Hunter and Dagger Blade's injuries were cutting through deep enough to exactly cause him to bleed out internally. The Stars King abilities of healing, regenerative healing, did not exactly take an effective healing strange, as they were not exactly able to work. During at that time, the Star Witch Queen was exactly pregnant, as she had conveyed an infant child known as a Star Prince at that time. The Star King died at the time when his son was exactly born. The Star Witch Queen raised her son, groomed her son, trained him in hand-to-hand combat, in master tactician, strategist, swordsmanship, shurikens, agility, endurance, trained him to master his abilities and and able to controlling his powers, which he had super speed, super strength, mind controlling, telepathy, teleportation, opening portals, summoning. The Star Prince was more powerful and more immortal than his father. He was even more stronger and more formidable foe. Together with his mother, they decided to exactly wage war with the sacred universe to finish what they started, to finish what his father and mother started. He uses the Star Nation's empire in order to wage war with the sacred universe, which is exactly what he did. The Universal King and the Universal Council decided to exactly to put an end to the war. Decided to fully to put an end to the war against the Star Universe, which that it exactly was a plan. The Universal Council and the Four Nation Hunters utilized their resources and their army in order to finish the war once and for all, which they successfully almost did. The Star Watch Queen and the Star Prince were able to coordinate with their forces from central headquarters and were able to exactly tell the commanders to exactly launching a full scale invasion against the Sacred Universe, which is exactly what they did in the 30th century. In the 30th century, meaning in other words, in the past. The battle cruisers launched a full-scale invasion throughout space, and other battle cruisers from the Universal King launched a full-scale attack on the other battle cruisers, causing a huge war. Both sides were completely decimated, as in they were very completely decimated, meaning completely decimated. The generals and the commanders of the Star Universe were forced to retreat. Some of them retreated. The others were successfully taken into custody by the Four Nation Hunters and by the Universal King's forces. They were able to exactly get answers who was exactly leading them and is exactly leading them and who was exactly behind the orchestration of a large full escape of an invasion of the Sacred Universe. The other commanders and the other warlords of the Star Universe exactly replied there was a Star Witch Queen and the Star Prince. The Universal King learned that he had exactly made new enemies from the Star Universe, meaning from the Star Universe, which was a Star Witch Queen and the Star Prince. Previously was a Star King, which he previously learned exactly that he has made new enemies from the Star Universe, and that the Star Empire was determined and very ambitious to conquer the Sacred Universe by any means necessary. And that was in the 30th century, meaning the 30th century, the war exactly waged between between the Sacred Universe and the Star Universe, that are quietly at war with each other. That's how the war between the two universes exactly began. This universe wanted to conquer this universe in order to expand its domain and its power and its army and its empire across the known galaxy, in order for them to become the dominant empire across sacred existence by any means necessary. The Universal King and his descendants learned about this, knowing that the Star Witch Queen and the Star Prince will pose a very magnificent threat to the galactic balance of power by trying to conquer the sacred universe and the sacred world by any means necessary for their empire and to expanding their rule across the known universe. This exactly created a need for the sacred universe to exactly creating advanced technologies and training its people, training the Four Nation Hunters to exactly fight harder against their adversaries and against their enemies. Within the centuries, the Star Witch Queen and the Star Witch Queen and the Star Prince decided to expand their rule within the Star Universe. By conquering vast worlds and vast planets across the Star Universe in order to expand their rule and their empire across the known universe, which they exactly been doing. The Star Witch Queen and the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches began experimenting with cybernetics technologies by giving the Star Commanders by giving prosthetics arm and cybernetics technology to the Star Commanders and to the Star Generals in order for them to exactly work. In doing so, the Star Witch Queen began experimenting with shadow energy, unlocking its power, its secrets, its capacity, able to making sure that the Star Empire becomes the most dominant force in the entire universe by any means necessary. In doing so, the Star Witch Queen became more powerful and more determined to conquer the sacred universe. After hearing the news of the Lord of Magic becoming the most powerful being in the entire sacred universe, in conquering all the other worlds throughout the sacred universe, the Star Witch Queen and the Star Witch Prince decided to halt the operation in conquering the sacred universe and in conquering the sacred universe and the sacred world. In conquering the sacred universe and the sacred world, they decided to recruit members within their own empire, within the Star Empire, and started forming their own secret society of supervillains known as the Dark Star. They started recruiting members within the Star Empire known as Mr. Star, Dead Star, Red Star, Magic Star, Dead Star, Magic Star, Mr. Star, Dead Star, Magic Star, Mr. Light Star, Light Star, Light Star, Light Star, Light Star, Power Star, powerful members, meaning, in other words, very powerful and formidable members of the Star Empire were recruited, meaning powerful villains. These villains would exactly join forces together in order to aid them in a mission and a conquest. They formed their society known as the Dark Star. These members became the official inducted members into the group of Dark Star, which there are exactly 7 members, which are exactly 9 members into the organization. 9 members into the organization of Dark Star: the Star Prince, the Star Witch Queen, Dead Star, Mr. Star, Magic Star, Red Star, Red Star, Red Star, Power Star, Power Star, Power Star, Death Star, Power Star, Red Star, and Red Star, Red Star, and Red Star, Light Star, Light Star. 9 members of the secret society of supervillains known as the Dark Star, who are determined to conquer the sacred universe, by any means necessary. Over the following centuries, the Star Witch Queen has been watching the events of the sacred universe unfold as she's been paying attention to the universal heroes and the intergalactic coalition fighting with the founders, the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, the Order of the Seven, the Sacred Circle, Lord Justin, the Lord of Magic, and the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Ice Children and the Water Children, Ghostmaster Metalface, Darkron and her Dark Sisters, and the Dark Order exactly fighting each other, and the universal heroes trying to exactly restore peace and order and balance at the cost of the Lord of Magic losing his life, which is exactly what exactly happened. The Lord of Magic exactly faced his demise at the hands of the universal heroes and at the hands of the prophesied child known as Universal Man, the new Universal Man, known as Grayson Ferris Unity, who is the son of the previous Universal Man, and Universal Woman, known as Crystal Ferris and Greg Unity, who is his father and mother, who were the previous superheroes as Universal Man and Universal Woman, who brought the demise of the Lord of Magic, which created a power vacuum in the entire Shadow Empire. The Star Witch Queen has been observing the events of the sacred universe over the following centuries and over the following years, watching them through her dark magic eye spying ball, exactly seeing the events played out as the Shadow Empire is slowly tightening its grip, fighting to control the known universe and controlling the sacred universe, and the Intergalactic Coalition fighting the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders who are trying to tighten their grip across the other worlds and other planets, and the secret society of supervillains fighting the universal heroes and the universal space heroes and the world heroes and the sacred heroes and the sacred team and the universal defenders and the universal space heroes, who are trying to free worlds and planets and universes from the Shadow Empire's control, and also from the secret society of supervillains by any means necessary. After observing and seeing the events unfold as they do, the Star Witch Queen exactly told the Star Prince and the members of her secret society that it's time that they exactly advance the Star Empire, and using their armies and their abilities to conquer vast worlds and vast planets across the Mixel universe, the Golden Universe, the Robotic Universe, the Sacred Universe, and the Star Universe as well. In order to conquering those universes, in order to expand their rule and their domain across the known universe by any means necessary, which is exactly what they did. They dispatched an army of battle cruisers to conquering known worlds and known galaxies across the known universe, which is exactly what they did. They've been waging war with other alien civilizations and other planets, conquering them in order to harvest their crystals and their power sources and their crystals and their power sources, using them using them to perform a powerful witchcraft, and using them to perform the Star Witch Queen uses powerful crystals in order to perform her witchcraft at the very level, uses it to perform her witchcraft at the very larger scale in order to extract shadow energy and powerful magical powers and abilities from magic schools and magic worlds and magic planets, which is exactly what she's been doing for the past few millennia, for the past few centuries. Exactly, her and her dark druids and her dark witches have been experimenting with the dark crystals and with the blue crystals and the dark crystals, turning them into a power source in order to create destructive technologies for the Star Empire and also for the secret society of supervillains that she and the Star Prince form, known as the Dark Star, in order for them to conquer vast world and vast civilizations. They have conquered thousand worlds and many civilizations across the Mixel universe, across the robotic universe, across the golden universe, able to exactly conquering those worlds and those planets across the other universes. They've been exactly waging war with those other with the world civilized with the alien civilizations of those worlds and those planets, which is exactly created a war across the other, which has exactly created a war on the other side of the known universe. Exactly, the Star Wars Queen was very quietly determined in order to conquer all those other universes and all those worlds, but they were facing with overwhelmed resistance from the forces of the empires, which exactly causes them to exactly fight. The Star Empire is exactly a formidable empire and the most dominant empire in the entire Star universe, which is founded and led by the Star Witch Queen and the Star Prince. Together and their secret society, they control the Star Universe and the Star Empire, waging war with other empires across the known universe in order to conquer worlds and planets and civilizations. The Star Witch Queen is very, very ambitious and very determined to conquer the sacred universe by any means necessary. With her son by her side, she's more powerful and more dangerous. Her abilities of summoning, creating, and possessioning and teleportation and opening portals and flight and ability of creating dark technologies and destructive technologies and performing her witchcraft on a larger scale in creating massive devices and dark technologies for a secret society of supervillains known as the Dark Star in order to take over and conquer the sacred universe by any means necessary. The Star Witch Queen's goal with the Star Prince's goal is to conquer the sacred universe for the empire and for the people in order for them to expand it and to expand its rule across the known universe by any and all means necessary. They frequently clash with the Universal Heroes and with the Universal King's forces and with the Intergalactic Coalition, the World Heroes, the United Heroes, and the Universal Heroes. Seeing them, they pose a threat to her conquest and to her plans in conquering the rest of sacred existence by any and all means necessary. News of the new Lord of Magic and his new Sacred Society of Supervillains also poses a threat to the Star Witch Queen and also to the Star Prince's plan in conquering the rest of sacred existence by any means necessary. But she won't allow the new Lord of Magic Secret Society and also the Universal Princess Secret Society prevent her from conquering the known universe and also conquering the sacred universe by any and all means for her empire. The reason she wants to conquer the sacred universe is because the sacred universe possesses many worlds and thousands of beautiful magical worlds and beautiful magical civilizations full with powerful magic and with many elements and with many minerals and many elements and many refined resources from all civilizations, from all alien civilizations. In order for her to expand her rule and domain with her son by her side, she'll do just about that, to conquering all the neighboring nations of the sacred universe and also of the sacred world by any means necessary. She views the Universal King and the Four Nation Hunters and the resistance of the Four Nation Hunters and the Intergalactic Coalition as a threat to her plan and to her rule. With the loss of the Star King, she's even willing and determined to do whatever it takes to conquering the sacred universe and the sacred world for her empire and for her son and for her people and for her secret society of supervillains known as the Dark Star, in conquering the sacred universe and the sacred existence by any and all means necessary. The two universes have been at war with each other for centuries, meaning for centuries. Since their ancestors have been clashing with each other, they've been at war for centuries. The war has been passed down through descendant after descendant after descendant after descendant after descendant after descendant, after generation to one generation after generation to one generation, until the Star Witch Queen was even born. The Star Witch Queen is very gifted with dark magic. She even formed an alliance with other powerful dark magic users known as the Dark Druids, the Dark Witches, the Dark Faithful, who are eager to help her accomplish her mission, who are eager to help her accomplish her mission and her goal in conquering the sacred universe by any and all means necessary. They view her as her high priestess. She's viewed as her high priestess, as a leader of the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful, who exactly view her as a high priestess. And as a high priestess, she's very skilled in dark magic, very skilled in dark magic. She's an immortal being who has lived over for many centuries to come. She even blessed her son, the Star Prince, with her immortality and with her powers and with her abilities. The Star Prince is very gifted in dark magic and very skilled in dark magic even as well. He even has the power of teleportation, summoning, the power of super speed, super strength, super hearing, and the power of seeing through everything, the power of seeing through, and the power of sensing any magical opponent with their magical abilities, such as detecting Magic Girl and Magic Man and the Magic Heroes and the Universal Space Heroes, Lytris, and the Universal Man and Universal Girl and Universal Warrior, in sensing their magical abilities in far distance range. He's very gifted in dark magic. Her mother gave her her abilities. Her father gave him his abilities of super regenerative healing, which is exactly exactly what the Star Prince inherited. They are the founders and leaders of the Dark Star, and also the founders and leaders of the Star Empire. The Star Witch Queen is very determined to conquering the sacred universe by any and all means necessary. The Universal heroes know very well that the Star Universe is at war with the sacred universe, but they have been dealing with too many threats, such as the new Global Magic and his secret society, the Universal Prince and his secret society known as the Order of the 12, and the Order of Secrets, and the Dark Fates, and the Lord Fate, and Lord Justin, and Commander Power, and the Shadow Empire Warlords, and the founders, and the founders, and the founders, and the founders, and the Order of the 5 and the Order of the 6. It's like the war is becoming a boiling point, a massive boiling point, forcing good and evil to exactly frequently clash with each other as the balance for power, as a balance of power, and the balance of the power vacuum has created an enormous amount of power vacuum that is created within the Shadow Empire itself, forcing everyone to exactly tighten its grip across every world and every planet. The Intergalactic Coalition and the Universal Heroes are doing everything in their capacity to exactly fight for peace and for balance, and for humanity across the rest of sacred existence by any and all means necessary. The Star Witch Queen and also the Star Prince are very determined to conquer the sacred universe for their empire, for their people, and also for the Dark Star, which is a secret society of supervillains formed and found by the Star Prince and by the Star Witch Queen, who are exactly determined to conquering all universes, such as the Golden Universe, the Sacred Universe, the Mixel Universe, the Robotic Universe, and the Star Universe, by any and all means necessary. The Star Witch Queen lives at the central headquarters of her lives at the central headquarters of her home planet, of her home planet within the Star Universes, within the Star Universe, uses it as a central headquarters in order to convene with the members with the members of the Empire, and with the members of the Dark Star. She reconvened with the members of the Dark Star in October the 2nd, in order to discuss their plans. Death Star exactly reassured the Star Witch Queen and the Star Prince that everything else is falling according to plan. In conquering the sacred universe, it will exactly come to pass. She exactly told him that the Dark Fates and the Universal Heroes are still at war with each other, and she was exactly quietly saying that The opportunity in order to conquer the sacred universe is closer than we think, and it's very, very quietly getting closer than we can ever able to think. The Star Prince was very quietly, very pleased, and very quietly, very adamant to see that the opportunity in conquering the sacred universe is getting closer than everything. He exactly told the members of Darkstar that he will exactly prepare an army of battle cruisers in order to begin a full-scale invasion of the sacred universe anytime sooner. And the members of Darkstar were all very quietly happy and were all very quietly pleased. The Star Witch Queen uses ancient temples ancient temples to convene with the members of Darkstar in order to maintain their bases, of cooperation for them to exactly speak and convene, and discuss their operations in conquering the sacred universe and also the sacred world by any means necessary. They reconvene again on the 14th of October to discuss their plans in hearing the news of the Shadow Empire descending in chaos and the universal heroes still at war, trying to exactly restore peace and balance. The Star Witch Queen reassured the members of Darkstar, saying that everything else is falling according to plan, saying that the new Lord of Magic will exactly uproot their plan and would exactly force them to initiate a new plan in conquering the rest of sacred existence by any means necessary. The Star Prince exactly reassured the members of Darkstar, saying that the plan is in place in conquering the rest of sacred existence and the rest of the sacred world and in the rest of the sacred universe by any means necessary. Everything else will exactly falter according to plan. The fleet and the battle cruisers and our soldiers and our armies are all ready. We're just needing a word from the High Command in order to proceed with the next phase of the plan. And the Star Witch Queen said that it's time that they proceed on with the next phase of the plan in order to launch a full-scale invasion of the sacred universe by any and all means necessary. The Star Witch Queen is very intelligent, very smart, very, very powerful, and very powerful, and very, very perceptive, and very perceptive and very good in deceiving her enemies and her adversaries by any and all means necessary. She exactly operates within the central headquarters of the Star Empire and able to exactly uses her experiments in order to wage war with the sacred universe and the Mixel universe by any and all means necessary. The members of Darkstar bring out their talents and their expertise and their own abilities in conquering the sacred universe by any means necessary, in utilizing their resources in conquering the sacred universe for their own goals and for their own ambition by any and all means necessary. Despite this, guys, this sacred society of supervillains known as Darkstar is determined to conquer the sacred universe by any and all means, meaning necessary. They are still planning to conquer the sacred universe, and they are still willing to exactly do that. But the new threat of the new Lord of Magic and his new secret society poses a threat to everyone, meaning to the Universal Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition and the United Heroes and the Universal Space Heroes and the Universal Defending Heroes. But our heroes are quite determined to restore peace and balance to the known universe and to the rest of sacred existence by any and all means necessary. Well, I all hope you enjoyed this episode. I all hope you enjoyed this episode and this great episode that I exactly told you about. And I all hope you enjoyed it, and all hope you have a wonderful day and a very beautiful day. It's very quietly windy. It's still beautiful. The sky is very quietly beautiful, but it's very quietly windy. And I all hope, guys, you all hope you have a wonderful day and a very, very beautiful day. Stay safe and stay warm, and also stay positive and never give up in your dreams and your goals, guys. Stay positive. Think positively, very positively. Positive minds, guys. Positive minds. Bye.